Yo, what is up, our creative comrade? Today we're talking about taking time off, Facebook, and all the other GC topics you see on the news. So, Justin, you just came back from your first ever vacation where you fully unplugged. How was that experience, and what made you fully not take your laptop with you? Because I would never do that.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing is I would have never thought that I would either. And I know we've talked about it a little bit, but like I've gone on vacation in the past, even vacation with family, right? But I always bring my laptop. And whether I'm on my laptop or not, I just feel like that is the one item that I'm like scared to not bring with me when it comes to vacationing or traveling, whatever you want to call it. Even though we can realistically do everything on our phone nowadays, right? Um, but there, like again, this was the real first time that I've fully unplugged, I would say, from work. Um, and it was great in the best ways possible. So, like for context, I just got back from Cabo. Michelle and I, we had like a conjoined bachelorette party, and it was amazing. The vibes are great. Everyone there was amazing. So many memories were made. But the thing that I really want to talk about this on this episode is kind of like that concept of actually taking your vacation as a creator, right? Because like Grace, you've had a full-time job where you have maybe only 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it may be of actual PTO that you can take. That's very different from a creator because like PTO, yes, you can take time off. It's easier to unplug from that, I would say, because like you're getting paid to take time off versus as a creator or as an entrepreneur, like especially when you're just getting started, when you're taking time off, you're not making money a lot of the times. Um, so I don't know, like this was the first time that I've tried to build systems so that when I am away, things can keep moving. It was very scary for me. We can talk about that a little bit, but it was great, and I'm glad that a few of my friends pushed me to not bring my laptop with me. Um, like in my head, again, declassified, we have a small team. How creators make money, it's just really me and you, right? We have some like small editors that are creating like a short form for us and stuff like that, but we don't really have a huge system in place. It was more from a declassified standpoint, right? Um, I had never quote unquote gone off the grid for probably more than 24 hours previously. Even when I've gone on vacation before, like I'd still check on my phone, I'd still check our Discord messages, I'd still check my email, answer emails, things like that. So even though I was on vacation, I was still kind of tapped in to see what was going on because if I didn't approve something, nothing got posted or nothing moved without my approval essentially. And over the past I want to really say like the past 2 or 3 months, shout out to Ryan, our producer, I've been trying to hand off more and more to him so that he can control more of, especially like the creative process when it comes to working with the creators, the edits that are coming back, working with the editor, and things of that nature. And this was the first real Justin jumping off point from that of like, I haven't really, I haven't touched some of the edits that have happened over the past 4 days or so. Um, and it was scary because I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, is everything gonna just blow up under declassified and like I'm gonna come back and it's just gone? Like that, I think that's the fear that a lot of creators have, especially when you've never taken that step back. And after doing it, like I have much more trust in Ryan. Were there some hiccups along the way? Yes, but now I know what the hiccups are. Um, but it was I think a really good learning lesson for me to be able to trust people like Ryan on my team, like Kenneth on my team to handle the projects that they were realistically leading um and nothing blew up. Like there were some issues but nothing blew up and we're good.
Oh man, that's great. You have a team that you can trust. Oh man, my first vacation in like 5 years, I got canceled when I was on vacation and with no Wi-Fi.
Oh no.
That was
Oh
the biggest fear. Oh my
no.
god, yeah. Okay, so I used to travel a lot as a kid, with my parents, like go out to like Asia whenever. I was just like in high school and in college when I had like no responsibilities, and I don't think I could ever unplug anymore. I'm too scared. Like one time I unplugged for the first time. So it's interesting. I have spectrums of like say, oh, I can completely fuck around, or I can work and fuck around, or I can like fully work. Um, I'm trying to find the balance. But as a kid, and I would travel a lot, and then like I got really into like I had a really hard major in school. I was doing like bioengineering and computer engineering, so I was like searching for like tech internships, so I had to like grind, hustle for that. And I was like, no time out, I gotta improve. And I was always like switching majors and having like major imposter syndrome, so using like breaks and weekends to like catch up instead of like having fun. And then when I graduated, it was during the pandemic. I was building design buddies, and then grew my full time job at EA. And then or EA, we had limited PTO. And I had this scarcity mindset towards PTO. It's like I think I got like a couple of weeks a year, but you can accumulate up to 200 hours. So I would like not use it until like it was like almost gonna like not accumulate anymore. And yeah, so it's doing design buddies. Design buddies, it's very people facing. There's so many people in the community. There's like 85,000 people on Discord. And I remember when I took my first vacation in years in 2022, I was on a cruise to Alaska. My mom, she got really into cruises, and I had no Wi-Fi. I had like very slow Wi-Fi. I didn't have no Wi-Fi, but just very slow. So I still access. But damn, I didn't check Discord for 2 days, and I got canceled. And I was like, and
Oh no.
so my that's like the biggest fears of creators. Like you don't have access to anything, you get canceled. So a long story short, okay, this is gonna kind of like TLDR, but I had the wrong people on my team where I feel like as creators, we often have like a big platform, so people think we're like responsible for a lot of things like outside of like zone of like niche and responsibility. So the people on my team, which are all like volunteer mods at that time, were really mad at me for not doing enough social justice stuff, which I agree. Everyone should be fair, but it's not my expertise. I don't want to speak about something that's not my expertise, but they were giving so much shit for not speaking about it. So they canceled me on Discord. They pinged everyone saying that they're really concerned about where this community is going and they're gonna leave. And like, here's my socials, go follow me. I printed it out and framed it, by the way. Um, because like that was like honestly like I saw that I was like I remember I had a really fun day vibing at Glacier National Park, and I was in my room, my sister, and I just like checked Discord. It was so low, slow and annoying. I was like, fuck. Like what? I was just like at everyone. I was like, what the fuck is happening? All these people are messaging me. Like, what is happening? This is like, and it has slow Wi-Fi, so I'm just like trying to give a follow-up message. So I sent a follow-up message like, don't worry, buddies, everything's okay. Everything will be okay. I'm just in Alaska. They canceled me when I was like in Alaska, and like everything did end up okay. So that
Well, so
was like
like
big.
here's my perspective on it, right? Um, like I think that's an anomaly. I don't think that's gonna happen again anytime soon. I think you probably have better people on your team now, right? That's number one. Number two, I would say that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to bring my laptop. So, like, I would say we didn't have a similar situation for how creators make money, but we did get an email that wasn't the best email to receive during my break, right? About essentially about a brand deal that we were working on that is kind of still in the works. We're figuring out where it's going to go, but it wasn't a good update to the email, so to say. And that would probably almost be like a five-figure deal, right? If we were to execute properly on that, to be fully transparent to all of you listening. And like I checked that on my phone. I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. But then I just put my phone down and then I was like, what's the difference between me responding right now versus me responding on Tuesday when I'm back? Right? There's no real difference there, right? If we're being completely honest, right? And then I'd also say for your scenario too, would there really have been that big of a difference if you had just not responded until the end of your trip? I don't know,
Yeah, probably not. I was like really
right?
sad.
But see,
Yeah.
but it ruined the rest of your trip, right? I'm not sure
Mhm.
how many more days you were in Antarctica for, right? Um, but like that was one of the main reasons why I didn't want to bring my laptop because it was like I associate my laptop with work, right? And so if I can just push that away, not deal with it for a little bit of time, I can fully enjoy that weekend that I had in Cabo, right? And not have these little things kind of ruin potentially like a great time over there. Again, thankfully my team executed. relatively well over the course of the 4 days. But I'd also say too, it was a really good test for my team and the systems that I built as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like as much as we want to trust our partner, right? We don't know what they're doing until they're in a precarious situation, right? But after that precarious situation goes away, right? And you're like, oh, I can trust them a little bit more. You start to build up that trust a little bit more, and you're more open to letting them like do whatever they want to do a little bit more, right? Or having a little bit more leash, so to say, right? And so that now, like now that I've seen that, I see the issues in the systems that I created and what I need to plug holes in. Essentially, they're not big holes, but there are some holes. And like moving forward, I'm like, okay, it's less about the fuck ups that happened over the past 4 days and more about, oh, did not know, like that was a blind spot that we had. Let's make sure that the next time Justin needs to go on a vacation, or the next time, like for instance, like my wedding, right, is on a Thursday, I don't want to have to worry about any of this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday until I come back on Monday, right? For declassified stuff wise. Um, so that's how I think in my head of like, how can I do small mini tests where the mess ups aren't that big? Um, where it's not impact like where that doesn't impact me as much if there is a mess up. Now, getting canceled when you're on vacation, that's completely different. That is a little wild. I'm not gonna lie, by your own community. Not deserved at all, I would say. But I don't think that would like something that big would happen again.
Yeah, sometimes I even like don't tell people on my I'm on vacation because they knew I was on vacation and they knew I didn't have Wi-Fi on a cruise ship and they did
Well,
it.
that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too,
Yeah.
right? So it's like I didn't announce on Declassified that I'm gonna be gone, nor do people care, right? Because I'm not forward facing, right? So I think it's a little bit different when you are the persona, when you are the personality, which I know that you're trying to kind of like create the Design Bunny brand as itself, not necessarily just Grace. So I think that'll help out a lot too. Um, but also, if you are that person that is the, let's just say it's your personal brand or whatever it may be, it's like how can you make sure that people don't necessarily know that you're on vacation until after you're on vacation? Like, is that stocking up on posts and like finding a poster, again, building that system so that you're still posting while you're on vacation, but you don't have to worry about it, right?
Hmm.
So just little things like that, I would say.
Yeah, I end up posting on my stories like months later, more because I'm behind. And then I'm on vacation, I just live in a moment and not think about posting. 'Cause I associate that kind of like work a little bit because
I
it's
agree.
kind of like where income comes from. So I just kind of post 3 months later, like, haha, no, I'm not. I'm back. But they don't know that. That's why people think I'm traveling all the time because I'm posting late all the time.
Yeah, and I think it's also like I don't I've never thought about it, but again, when when you've been with someone as long as I have with like Michelle and stuff, like you start to pick up on things that are different for girls than it is for guys. Especially in the influencer space. There's like a weird thing where especially a lot of female influencers, they won't post where they actually are until like a few days after because like they
Yeah.
don't want their audience to just like bombard them wherever they are, like the
Yes.
stalkers and stuff like
Same.
that.
I do the same
Um,
thing.
like again, that's something that I usually like guys don't have to worry too much about, but I do know like for girls, it is something that's top of mind, which is just wild. But if you haven't thought about that and you're listening to the show, it is something that you probably want to think about where you might not necessarily want to be posting where you exactly are, especially on like your story or something like that.
Yeah, or like wait 24 hours afterwards as well. Um, but man, after that cancellation was actually the best thing that happened in my life. One of the best things that happened in my life. Because it helped me learn so much. Because I didn't have much at stake. They were just volunteer moderators. I wasn't making any money from Design Buddies. So it was just like a fun side hustle. But the life lessons it taught me were pretty priceless. It helped me like realize I don't have to please everyone and realize that like, oh, I don't have to like some people are just like mean or some people like I don't owe anyone anything, any explanation. So I just kind of leave. And then so many great people reached out to me from that and so many mentors and people helped me get through all of that. So I learned so much about dealing with people who disagree, conflict resolution from that, and it ended up helping me take Design Buddies to the moon. So that's how I ended up like when I quit my job last year, a year and a half later after that cancellation. Oh, actually, 1 year after that cancellation, I took like a month and a half off in Europe for fun. Just fucked around. I still like was on my phone and on my laptop and stuff, but I just fucked around for a month and a half in Europe in 2023. And then I was like, oh, this is so fun. This is the life, man. So I quit my job in 2024. Actually, exactly a year ago, April 1st, 2024 is when I quit my job. And then I was just like, I am free. So I just like traveled for 6 months. And I feel like I was just like fucking around most of the time. Um, After month three, I was just like, damn, I kind of miss being locked in. But at the same time, it's like I'm digital nomading. It's like hard to find stable cafes, stable workspaces. And also like I'm in Asia, the time zone sucks. So I was often taking meetings at like 7 a.m., 11 p.m. So it sucked. I can't go out with friends. Yeah, it kind of sucks. So I was just like, I just like close my laptop, whatever, just be immersed in like Thailand or whatever. At the same time, just like I feel like I was like a little bit letting my team down in some aspects because they were handling a lot. So I was kind of sad. And but I'm just like I'm like in Thailand. I love Thailand. And
Exactly,
like
but that's like the weird
yeah.
feeling because I've gotten the
Yeah.
same thing too before, right?
Mm.
Before I built these systems where it's like you're traveling abroad. You might feel a little bad that like you're the one, like you're able to travel versus other people aren't traveling,
Uh-huh.
right? And then the time zones suck. I think our first call actually was probably, I think it was like at 7 a.m. when you were
Yeah, I
in
was in
Thailand or
Thailand.
something.
Yeah, I had
I
this
think
little
so.
cute little co-working space in my condo in Thailand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like
Yeah.
I totally feel it, and it's like a little bit guilty sometimes, I
Hmm.
feel too. Whether that's a good thing or not, I'm not sure, but I do know the feeling that you're talking about. Do you think you and Justin, because I know he's very like technologist, like locked in type
Hmm.
persona as well. Do you think that you two could ever go on a vacation without just your laptops? Like a
Oh man,
fully locked in vacation?
I feel like he could. Right now, I actually really enjoy work. It's weird. Like I enjoy design buddies. Um, but I feel like right now because I feel like I fucked around for so long for 6 months. I kind of missed being locked in. So I've been pretty locked in this year and only going on business trips. And just trying to not burn out, which I feel like I've been doing well because I go out a lot to do fun things. But maybe like later this year or something. Maybe like 1 week max. I don't know. I'm just like I feel like I feel like my brain can only think in a moment, and we're very like spontaneous. So I just like to think 1 month at a time and decide where to go. Because I feel like no, sometimes Southwest was not. It was like kind. It was no. It was like work because it was fun, but it was just like riz kind of work, like got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Riz work. Yeah. Right now I don't see myself like taking any full time off for like at least first half of this year just because I just like feel like I just goofed off too much last year because I really love building and I don't think there's anything wrong with that too. Like
I
if people
agree.
enjoy
I
their work,
agree.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
think it's ebbs and flows, right?
Mhm.
So, like, even for myself, I think I'm in a sprint portion of my time. Like, that break in Cabo was a good moment of just like fully relaxation type of vibe. But this year is a lot different than previous years because I am getting married this year, right? So, there's a
Mhm.
lot of life events that I want to be fully locked in on just me and Michelle.
Mhm.
So that's a different cadence than like last year or the year before, where it's like fully in build declassified mode and everything like that. So
Mhm.
I totally get it. Maybe not this year, but I do think that time will come for you and you and Justin. Um, and I'm interested to see what our call will be like after. You're like, yo,
Yeah.
Justin, this is completely different. Like, either you're like, Justin, I totally agree, I should do this more, or like, Justin, how did you do this? This is terrible. Like, I never want to go on a vacation without my laptop ever again. I'm not sure, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, I'm just like I can be filming content, I can be posting about this vacation, I could be using it as a tax write-off. Like
The tax write off is so true, though. It's so true.
yeah, I post about it. Yeah, but we'll see. Oh yeah, like I feel like a lot of my friends around my age, like mid 20s, are having kids. I'm just like I am a kid. I'm like, what? And then like I feel like as a kid, like you have like less time and you have to like focus on family. I'm just like, but I am the kid. I cannot have multiple of me.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. I think I'm starting to get to the going across the mountain to the other eight to the other side of getting old, so to say. Um, but yeah, it's so interesting because you're what,
I'm 27 now, so it's only
27?
yeah.
You're only a year younger than me, right? So it's
Hmm.
not like there's a big gap between us.
Yeah.
But it is crazy how like different certain life events can like totally shift your perspective on what the next year of your life looks like or anything like that.
Yeah, I go on Facebook and some of my friends are having babies, and they're like my age, and I'm just like, I cannot comprehend.
Okay, so I think that's a great
Yeah,
transition.
yeah.
You want to talk about Facebook?
Facebook. Oh my God,
What's going
Facebook.
on with Facebook?
Yeah, so I recently listened. I've been on Facebook since like 2010. I was on Pet Society and stuff. I thought Facebook was like so cool. I loved it. But I feel like throughout the years it became less cool. Like all the content creators like went to Instagram, TikTok, all that. But then I listened to this episode when I was at the gym. I listened to podcasts and I lift weights. It was with Colin and Samir, and they interviewed Zuck. And basically, like Zuck is trying to make Facebook cool again by making like a friends only tab. And then they have a couple like unannounced, probably under NDA features, making Facebook like it was when it's 2004 again, like the friends only. I also think, and then they also like invited Mr. Beast on there too. And Mr. Beast, they asked Mr. Beast like, "Oh, if you're the CEO of Facebook, what would you do?" And then Mr. Beast was like, "Oh, I would like get more creators to upload more videos on there, but also have more AI tools to like auto dub it, because only like 15% of people who watch videos consume in English." So it was like kind of like that. It was interesting because I feel like Mark Zuckerberg had such a rebrand. He used to be such like like a meme, like roasting some meats, like you know that, yeah, like that. And then he had like a major rebrand. He's just like he has like gold chains, sunglasses, like fashionable, like a cool CEO now. And I feel like it kind of aligns with what his company is kind of like aligns with like public sentiment, but yeah, so I feel like Mark is trying to make Facebook old again. But yeah, curious, what is your experience with Facebook and would you ever use Facebook as your primary platform again?
So I think Facebook's interesting, right? That was probably my first social media of all time. I really didn't use MySpace. My parents didn't let me use MySpace, but for some reason they let me use Facebook. Um, and I agree, Zuck's rebrand has been needs to be studied. Don't if what his whole thing is to try to make Facebook cooler, maybe I can kind of understand that. But I have never seen someone rebrand as drastically, in my opinion, as he has. Like it seems like his views have changed, his persona has changed, his look has changed, pretty much everything. Um, whether that has to do with politics or not, I don't know. But like his complete rebrand has been wild to kind of see. Now, what I would say about Facebook, I think the unique thing about Facebook is A, how many people use it, right? So even like the new up and coming like Gen Z, Gen Alpha generations, like yes, they're on TikTok, yes, they're on Instagram, yes, they're on Snapchat, but I would argue that they also probably have Facebook profiles. And the main reason for that is because Facebook groups. So I'm not sure if you remember, right? But in college, and the reason that I still know this is because it's kind of like a little bit of a hack when it comes to getting in touch with college students, whether you're looking for college interns or anything like that. Um, college groups on Facebook are still super active. Like class of X year are very active, especially freshman sophomore year, because that's the easiest community platform that's out there, right? If you think about it, Instagram group chats suck, TikTok group chats suck, Snapchat group chats suck, especially when you're like trying to talk to strangers, so to say. But Facebook has somehow built this space where, especially for incoming freshmen and things like that, I would assume that they're still using like class of, I don't know, what's the next class now? It's 2005. So the new freshmen coming in next year would be class of 2029, right? Like I bet you class of 2029 USC, class of 2029 Harvard, class of 2029 US, UCF, U Texas, yada yada yada, right? Those are all still Facebook groups that are going to start up in the fall because all these, or even the summer, because all these freshmen are looking for roommates. And for again, I don't know if there's a better community platform when it comes to like group stuff than Facebook right now. And I think if Zucks can get it right of like what's the stickiness after Facebook groups, I think he could potentially revive the platform. Um, but they do have this weird stickiness of the first platform that you interact or one of the first platforms that you still make a profile for.
Mm. Yeah, same. Facebook was my first one because my parents also didn't let me use MySpace. They're like, "Who dare you? Who tell you about MySpace? Who should I spank or whatever?" I was like
Exactly,
freaked out.
exactly.
Yeah.
MySpace, what was the other one? Tumblr, never used any of those,
Oh,
but
I love
Facebook was the
Tumblr.
first one.
Yeah, Tumblr was my second one, and then it was Instagram when it came out. But yeah, I love Facebook groups. I still use a lot of them to this day. Even when I'm visiting a new city, finding friends to hang out with. Like for example, when I went to Bali for a month, I wanted to like meet other digital nomads. I didn't know where to look, so I just searched Bali digital nomads. There's like 10 groups around that. I promoted. I was hosting a party at our house, and then like half the people, we had like 50, 20, 30 people. Half of them came from Facebook groups. So they all like saw it on there and they're still like pretty active in terms of visiting a new city. I also love like the meme groups. There's like UC Berkeley memes for edgy teens, as well as like there's like biology memes. There's like subtle Asian traits, subtle Asian dating. Um, all those like fun groups. I barely seen them anymore, but they I made so many close friends from these like niche meme groups that
Well, I think Zucks throttled engagement on groups. That's
oh
why. So I think before they used to be super active because it would constantly pop up on your feed. And then this sort of they changed the algorithm and then Facebook groups kind of tanked. But they are
mm,
still very valuable. Even like Michelle, like when she wants to do like nannying or like organizing or things like that, like Facebook mommy groups, engagement in those is crazy. Like it's super niche, super thing where like it's more for nannies, weddings, things of that nature. But like these groups are still very engaged. The meme ones are a little bit different because I think those are less sticky, right? Because like, oh, funny joke or funny meme or whatever it may be. But there are a lot of groups. I do think Facebook's saving grace is their group feature. Um, I also think the issue with Facebook though is its longevity in the way of a lot of the friends that I'm friends with on Facebook are from like high school and middle school. And like, it's not that I've outgrown them, but like, we're just very different now. And so, what they're talking about, or what other people that I was friends with in high school are talking about, is very different than the content that I want to be fed necessarily. And so, those don't necessarily align. And then it also feels weird. Again, don't know why, but like it feels weird when someone who enters my world. I'm actually interested to see if this is the case for you. But like it feels weird when people in that I become friends with in the business world try to become friends with me on Facebook. I don't like that. I don't know why, but I don't like that.
yeah, oh my god. I resonate with that a lot. Facebook is my only safe space left on the internet to truly shitpost. When I know I can toggle friends only because I used to shitpost my Instagram stories and I realized why is this thing getting 1,000 views? I'm not supposed to be doing that. Um so people are not supposed to be reaching out to me about this. Like people like this is world. I felt like Instagram story used to be my safe space and I realized, oh, it's got too big. Yeah. In terms of Facebook, oh my god, like there's this other niche, the cruise niche. Princess Cruises. All my posts there get like 400 likes. I never got so much engagement. So like I was talking about the cruises. There's this whole cult of cruises. They're all like people in their 60s, 50, 50, 60, 70s, and they're all like basically like white people from America, from Middle America, basically. I'm not to stereotype or generalize, but that's what I noticed. People like in my comment section to be some like yeah surface level. I'm sure groups are pretty diverse, but those groups are mostly like the Karens who complain a lot, who like to bitch about like people stealing sun loungers. There's a lot of complaints in there. But I'm here. I just post like, oh, here's what we did in Antarctica. Here's what we did in Spain. Here are some cute photos. Peace. And people just like love that because I get like bored on the cruise ships. I was like, oh, here's some cute photos I took today. Enjoy. And then they really like it. And it's like, so people were like, who is this kid? And so people were like, this is great photos. And they like follow me on Facebook. So I got like more Facebook followers from that. And then like sometimes I'll promote my Instagram. But I feel like they've been taking my post down if I mention like more photos on IG. I run Grace Pace. So like I just stopped promoting my Instagram. So people just follow me on Facebook. That's how I have like so many random followers on Facebook. But with the friends only feature, I feel like my internet presence has grown so much. So for actual shit posts that I do, like about life, sometimes when I'm like something bothers me, I just like my way to deal with it was text a friend or I vent about it on Facebook. I don't know why. It just helps a lot. So Facebook is my place to like safely vent about these topics when I know that these people are like probably vetted and non-business partnery people. I don't know. I'm trying to post on Facebook more because there's that whole creator fund too that pays me like randomly $50 a month with just like less than 10 posts. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm trying to repost my LinkedIn posts onto Facebook more. But like I hesitate doing LinkedIn posts on Facebook because it's more like social. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm
It
just like
feels weird.
yeah.
Like Facebook, I feel is like time capsuled Justin in high school. So when like and Justin in high school is very different in the way of just like my persona and things like that from who Justin is now. And like I think that's why it feels weird for me to post anything on my personal Facebook. Because like my personal Facebook in my mind is like Justin from high school who only really cared about soccer and like has only his high school friends on there. And so if I'm posting something about the podcast that we're running now, or even declassified or anything like that's all post high school. It feels different. But do you, I guess, A, do you think Facebook can make that transition to being cool again? But then also B, my question to you would be, if you were Zux, where what would be one of the or like one of the first things that you would change from a creator's lens?
Ooh, good question. Um, I do feel like I feel the same way about Facebook. I don't really post that much design buddies or podcasts or like content creation stuff on Facebook because I just feel like it's like with friends from high school. I guess like post like where I travel, just like lifestyle stuff on Facebook. If I were a creator, I feel like I would have. I'm trying not to rip off features from other platforms, but like a better discovery tool because there are like Facebook pages, and I feel like my timeline it's all like digital nomad stuff just because I joined so many digital nomad groups. But if there's like a way to discover more creators, I feel like I'll first improve groups. I feel like groups are what draws people in there. Um, Groups and like group chats, because like I really love Facebook groups, but I feel like it's beholden to the algorithm to see what is new in there unless you manually click on the group, which is hard. Maybe just like a tab for just groups and improved group chats because I'm in like bunch of groups, but it's like so hard to see the group chats. I would probably just like increase. I feel like the real value of Facebook is like connecting with people, and I feel like as a creator, I want to connect with the audience more because I remember other creators also making Facebook groups with their fans. Um, One example is Blogilates. I'm in her Facebook now. I used to do her workout videos a lot, and now she has like clothes and like I see her Facebook group post sometimes. They're just like people try on her clothes. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just like rambling a bit. 'Cause I'm trying to think about what I would do, but I would probably try to understand how creators are interacting with their audience and being able to build tools for creators to better serve or better like engage with their audience and have fun because a lot of creators have discords. Yeah.
I was gonna say from your lens, do you think Facebook groups are better than Discord? Because you have a huge
Mhm.
Discord, right? But
Yeah,
like, do you think that Facebook groups are better?
it depends. Discord is really great for fast conversations. really active, people dropping into voice chat, really live stuff. I feel like Facebook is great for content sharing. So groups that rely a lot on like, can you give me feedback? Like more like maybe more so like this depends. Like for design, people like to chat about it a lot, but sometimes people just like to share their work, and Facebook makes it easier to share their work and get feedback. So I'll say it depends on your topic, but what you want the group to be.
Interesting. So I think I agree with you. Facebook groups, that would be where I would put my focus on because it seems like that's where the most engagement is right now. I would also say, and I was trying to figure out the best way to put this into words, but like, I feel like every other platform, you get to hide behind a screen name or a username, whatever you want to call
Mm.
it, right? So Instagram, you get your at name. So for yours is I run Grace Pace, right? I
Hmm.
think. And then like for us, it's Declassified College or whatever it may be. And I know you can make Facebook pages, right? But there's something, in my opinion, that's different between making a page about something versus making an account that posts content. I don't know why that feels different to me. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but like even when we were posting declassified college stuff to a page, it felt more like a fan page than like our actual account. I don't know why.
Oh.
But I wonder if that's a way to like, let's just say, for instance, if I wanted to get back and start posting on Facebook, I wanted to keep my personal profile personal, let's call it that, right? But I wanted to create a more professional, personal branded one that's like around creator economy or higher education or things like that. Could I create one under the at name? I don't know, Justin Win, right? If that one wasn't taken, right? Um, would that allow me to post more? Or would that prompt me to post more because I'm not worried about what my initial friends will think about me? Because I think that's the biggest issue, right? When it comes to content creators, is our friends usually aren't the first supporters of our stuff. They're usually the ones that like take us down sometimes, right? Or like ridicule us sometimes in the best way possible, right? Because if you can get past that, then that means you usually have what it takes. But I do think that that might be holding back some creators from taking their content that has worked on, let's just say Instagram or TikTok or whatever it may be, and transferring it to their personal page on Facebook because it's like this hesitancy of, oh, when I made that Facebook page of myself, that was back when I was in high school or back when I was in college. And I'm completely different from who I am now, and my friends are completely different too.
Yeah, I can see that too. I feel like it's not the best place to get the most engagement because it's not very niche. It's just like general friends you made in your life. Because I also feel the same way. I feel like I would never post Design Buddy stuff that much unless like, oh, we hit 1 million followers. Like I would post like that kind of stuff, like accomplishments, like once every couple of months or something. I also feel like, yeah, have you considered using Threads? I feel like Threads has been a good middle ground between like your friends versus like I've noticed a lot of outside audience sees it too. I just started using Threads like a couple of weeks ago, and people started recognizing me from Threads. I don't know why. People that don't even know me, but they're just like, oh, I recognize you from your profile picture on Threads. I'm like, interesting. So you've seen me on Threads.
That's crazy.
But I feel
I
like,
haven't really played
yeah.
around with
Mhm.
threads yet.
It's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of creators on Threads. Like one time I posted like, "Hey, any creators at South by Southwest want to meet up and be interviewed?" I had like 50 creators reach out to me, but it was so hard to coordinate with them because everyone's like super busy doing South by Southwest. But I did make some new friends through that. But yeah, I don't think. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like Facebook is kind of maybe like for the friends to, I don't know what Zuck is thinking in his head, but separating like a friends versus like a public profile, because it when I post on Design Buddies page, it just feels like it's like a fan page. It's not really like an account. It's just like a layer on top of me, and can have many layers. It's not like really attached to me. It's just like a little. It's like a LinkedIn page, but like a fan page too. But
Yeah, I can
LinkedIn,
agree with
yeah. LinkedIn, I actually have a lot of my high school friends, but I feel like LinkedIn, everyone's posting professional content. It's like made for business stuff. So I'm okay shilling design buddies, how creators make money all over LinkedIn because I know people care.
Yeah, and again, I think LinkedIn has its role in the world of content, right? Like now there is a little bit more like shit posting and meme posting and stuff like that on LinkedIn, but I think at its core, it'll always be this more professional-esque platform where you talk about your career or things that are happening in your industry or and stuff like that. Do you, if you were to want to make money on Facebook right now, is there a way that you think that Facebook isn't helping creators monetize that you would focus on?
Hmm. I feel like I like make the most money through as a creator through brand deals, and I feel like not a lot of brands care about Facebook metrics. I only make money through the creator fund. If there's, I feel like Facebook does have metrics though. There's the creator metrics, but just brands don't really care about it. Hmm. I'm trying to think of ways that's like not already repeated on other social media platforms because Facebook also has like Reels, they have stories, they have video. Um, hmm. I feel like there's so much social media out there already. It's like so hard to keep up.
So my suggestion is literally what you were just talking about. Um, so I think that is an issue, right? For some reason, people don't take Facebook views seriously. Don't know why. Like I even have a friend who's reached out to me and they're like, "Hey Justin, we're getting, I think it's like 100 to 200 million views a month on Facebook." They're working with a large agency, and that agency doesn't even want to touch their Facebook views. So they came to me and they're like, "Hey, Justin, do you want to try and sell ads for this spot? Because for some reason, nobody wants to touch our Facebook views." Um, I think if Facebook found a way to, whether it's a rebrand or whether it's talking to creators and talking to brands to take Facebook views more seriously, they would get a lot of creators to move over to the platform, right? Because let's be real, creators most of the time just follow the money, right? If TikTok Creator Fund and if Instagram Reels Fund and Facebook Reels Fund were paying out the same way that YouTube long form does, I bet you more people would be short form creators and not want to make that transition to YouTube, right? I know Facebook long form, there is a case to be made when it comes to you can make decent amount of money with Facebook long form right now with with AdSense or whatever you want to call it, or mid-roll ads on Facebook. Um, but I think the same way that they found a way to brand the sort of Facebook ads as like the best ads in the world, like at best ads platform in the world, if they could do that, but for creator views for brands, I think every creator starts creating on at least taking
Yeah.
their YouTube videos and starts
Hmm.
creating on Facebook because like I said, my friends are getting 100 million to 200 million views. They're monetized on every other platform. But for some reason, Facebook, brands do not want to spend to promote their brand on Facebook, which in my mind makes zero sense because they're spending all this money on Facebook ads that are getting shown to people on that platform anyway. So that's where my mind would go if I was Facebook.
Somehow make the reels more valuable to brands. And yeah, I don't know what needs to change for that. Because I've noticed that too. No other brand has cared about how many Facebook followers we have or how many views we get.
Because like it makes no sense. Because what's the difference between 100,000 views on an ad on someone's video on Facebook and 100,000 views on that same ad on, but like as an ad on Facebook? Is there that much of a difference? I don't know if the audience is similar.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe it's like alpha for brands to tap into some Facebook creators right now. Because there could be
Well,
more
that's
available
what I
for you.
was
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's what I was talking to my friends. Like
Mm-hmm.
like my friends are willing to take a solid discount on their Facebook um inventory, let's call it that, because right now they're getting nothing for it and no brands want to touch it. But in
Hmm.
my opinion, it should be decent brand value, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, when I think of advertising, people always like, oh, I'll put some Facebook ads on there. But the same view as like if a creator posted it. But yeah, so it's interesting. But yes, if you're a brand, we should look into Facebook creators.
Yes. Again, I don't know. It's that's where my focus would be if I was Zucks. If I was Zucks, and I wanted to get creators involved, that's where my mindset would go. Is how do I rebrand Facebook video views as important, essentially, so that brands want to pay creators to be on the platform. Like, I mean, look at LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn rates have gone up over the past 6 to 12 months. And I think that's a piece of why people want to take posting on LinkedIn more serious, is because they're like, oh, there's actual money being involved on LinkedIn now that I can
Yeah.
get paid to post.
Uh-huh. What do you think happened with LinkedIn? Suddenly it's all people, everyone's posting on LinkedIn. But I've always posted on there.
I think the Twitter stuff probably helped push a lot of like the tech bros over. Um, I think what really happened was the whole Twitter debacle happened, which forced a lot of these tech bros, let's call it that, to start posting, like trial posting on LinkedIn. And because they saw, if you think about the content on Twitter tech bro or tech bro Twitter, it translates very well to LinkedIn content because a lot of it is either career based or industry based stuff, which is LinkedIn people eat that up alive. Um, and so I think that helped a ton. I think the biggest disruptor of LinkedIn will be Blue Sky, if there is one, though. I haven't paid much attention to it. I have a few friends that are really into it, but that would be probably the biggest competitor, I would say, to LinkedIn right now. Because I don't think anyone really cares that much about professional content on TikTok or Instagram. Like you can get decent professional content on those platforms, but those are more for like entertainment, typically. But when it comes to educational, or not necessarily educational, but professional career related content, I don't think anyone can really compete with LinkedIn right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I just dive into Blue Sky. I feel like a lot of people who don't. I noticed at Game Developers Conference, a lot of people like didn't even have a Twitter. They don't have a LinkedIn. They just have a Blue Sky. So they're like, follow me on Blue Sky. I feel like the gaming community and the tech community is slowly migrating to Blue Sky. But I also feel like LinkedIn's also pretty popular still. I'll see. Yeah, we should jam a bit more. I should download Blue Sky and reserve my username and see how it goes. But Zuck should make Facebook cool again, and Facebook views sexy for brands to want to invest in.
Look, I think it's just money. I think money longevity. I don't think you can just throw money and it'll fix things. But if there's a path to money longevity, creators are always going to change, or are typically always going to change platforms. I think that's the main reason why YouTube has survived. They were the first platform to really figure out like Google AdSense, so to say, right, where you're getting paid to post video content. And because that has always like that bucket has always stayed full for creators. Um, I think that's one of the main reasons why everybody wants to get to long form. They might not admit it, but like long form, consistent long form views are so much better than even consistent short form views, right? So just from a pace standpoint.
I feel like something has to change. Like either people somehow, I feel like LinkedIn content. I can't think of a platform that has content that would be relevant for Facebook. Because like when Twitter, people like didn't like Twitter, they went to LinkedIn. But I feel like some maybe if TikTok gets banned, I feel like people go to Red Note and Instagram, but maybe not. I don't think Facebook because it's like not the kind of content you'll see there. Um, but I also feel like LinkedIn is really incentivizing people to post video. It's like the Wild West. So Facebook, because creators, including myself, get such a high when posts go viral. So there's like an algorithm like the early days of TikTok, um, where creators can get discovered really easily. That's another feature I would add. Discoverability and getting the views up, and maybe slowly brands will be like, oh, 1 million views on like Facebook. They'll slowly on the Facebook creator, they'll slowly pay close and closer attention. Because I feel like the way the views on LinkedIn video right now is attracting a lot of brands. And then if there's a way to have that kind of algorithm for Facebook videos or any sort of content. It would be more sexy for like creators and brands to pay attention with.
I love it. Yeah. I think I think Zucks should listen to this pod, sponsor the pod, take all of our ideas and give us like 1% of Facebook. I think
That
that'd be
Facebook
a
is
great way
cool.
of how creators can make money, you know?
I know, right? I've been a loyal user of Facebook since like 2009, I think, playing
Exactly.
Pet Society.
I was
So I'm
there
loyal.
in the poking days, you know,
Oh
like poking on
yeah, those are so
Facebook.
fun.
Um, all right, so I know we got to jump in. I think we have enough time for like one more topic, which
Creator
um
events?
yeah, let's talk creator events because I mean we can touch TikTok ban. Let's be real, it'll likely not get banned, right? By the
Yeah,
time that you listen to this episode. Um, if it does get banned, I think that'll be a great topic to talk about and figuring out what happens next. But we'll see. I think as of recording this, we're recording this on the third. It's still alive. I think we have like 2 or 3 more days until the ban happens. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, it's so funny. I have a friend who works at TikTok, and the last time that the ban was happening, she was on vacation in Hawaii, and so she found out that it had gotten banned for what, like 12 hours or whatever. But she found out that it had gotten banned while she was in Hawaii, and then this upcoming weekend she's gonna be on vacation again. And so she might find out again that TikTok gets banned while she's on vacation again, which that would be hilarious for me, not funny for her because she's like obviously gets stressed out because like, do I come back to a job or something like that on Monday? Who knows? But I don't know. Do you have any like quick thoughts on TikTok before we jump to the last topic?
I think it's too late to get banned. It's America. People will rebel. I don't think it'll get banned because it's America. That's why. It's not like a dictatorship like some other governments, but here people will be loud and rebel and riot about it.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, yeah, right. Well, we'll conversate this weekend. We'll see. I'm sure I'll probably text you or you'll text me once one of us figures out the news. Um, but let's talk about creator meetups for like a little bit because it's been really interesting to see over the past, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks. There's been very interesting um meetups that have happening. And the reason that I say interesting is because they're not your traditional meetup where it's like, come meet up at this office and we'll have maybe a speaker or something like that. It's been more like I know Brett in New York, they did a meetup in a subway for like 30 minutes or an hour or something like that. And they were shooting content. They took over a whole subway cart, which is kind of bold in New York. I know you haven't really traveled to New York that often, but like I've been to New York and I'm like, that's a very interesting place to host a meetup. Like it's not like a Tokyo subway station or anything like that. And then also my other friend, he held a meetup in Chicago, but it was more like a what is it called? More of a block party rather than your traditional meetup, right? And I have a group of friends down here that are working with the Creator Camp boys now on like creator dinners, but they're not like a it's not like a corporate dinner or anything like that. There's literally one that was Irish themed, and I was like, "Oh, like is it St. It's like St. Patty's Day is not around the corner." He's like, "Oh no, like we just wanted to cook Irish food." I was like, "Oh, is like someone Irish here?" It's like, "Nope, no one's Irish. We just wanted to make some Irish food." I was like, "Interesting." But they just had a dinner with like both creators and creatives in the Austin area. There's probably like 12 of us that just went to their house and we all had dinner. It was a great time and good atmosphere. And so I think it's interesting as you see sort of the down trend of large creator events like VidCon is kind of on its way down. There's another one that was in Orlando that recent or playlist, that's what it was called. It shut down like 2 years ago. But these smaller niche, not necessarily niche, but smaller creator meetups are starting to grow. It's very interesting. Even like for you, right? Like you're hosting the Creator House in LA. Um, I feel like we're starting to enter this new age of creators are looking for friends, not necessarily big groups, so to say, but like more close friends that they can build with, especially those that are like more interested in the business world. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting to pay attention to, especially over the past couple weeks with the different types of meetups that we're seeing, not just the traditional like, hey, let's meet up at a building type of thing.
Yeah, I've seen this too in San Francisco with the founder VC community. Like one of my friends, Eric Zhu, he hosts like skydiving and paintballing for founders and VCs to connect. And there's like hot pots where they like talk and connect. And I think scuba diving and surfing, and run clubs. A lot of I love run clubs. They're fun. Are a great way because I don't know about you, but I avoid the word networking with the plague. And like I'm so tired of the event. It's like, oh, it starts at 5 p.m. and then there's like, oh, a panel at like 6 or 7, and oh, like more networking afterwards. I'm like, oh, I'm so sick of that format. I don't want to do it again. It's like so boring. And like in an office, and then there's like pizza, whatever. I'm like, ah.
It's so horrible. It's so bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like the Creator Palooza at South by Southwest. It's like a little festival. It was really fun. I really like Figma configs. Like Fig, it was day zero. It's just kind of like a fair on the in the park where there's lots of like activities like make your own T-shirt, get free food, get free merch, and just like hang out outside. I like those, but like yeah, I've also seen a trend towards more small group stuff. Because for our conference, actually, for Design Buddies, it's going to be half day keynote for the contents and for the live streams. But half day, I really push my team to do unconference style, like small group discussions. Because I feel like last year's it was so much just like keynote. And I was like kind of bored. And I also wanted people to like meet people and get value out of meeting people, like learning, but also for the contents and just meeting people there too. So I'm doing that. So hopefully, I don't know. It's kind of like the first kind of conference that is gonna be like that. But I'm trying to experiment with a new model too, because I'm so tired of like mainstream stuff. There's so I've been part of it is like I just go to so many events and then I see the same thing. I'm just like, oh, here we go again. So usually just like hang out with in the corner with my friend, or if I get bored, I just start like doing street interviews with my friend. It's like really fun.
I
Oh, I
love
think
it. No,
Brett's
like
been
I
doing street
even
interviews too.
no, I
Yeah,
saw that,
yeah.
and he was doing some in the subway, I think
Yeah,
too.
I saw on his
Um,
LinkedIn.
Again, wild concept. I know he probably took it from like the Subway Takes guide. Like there's like two very famous Subway shows in New York right now. Um, but like I've even had the idea of going a different route. Again, I think the more different of your meetup, the better. I know there's an LA crowd that they always do creator like pickleball with Eric,
Oh,
and
I'm
like he has a
going
whole
on
squad. Oh,
Saturday.
are you
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like I know Zach, I think Lonnie goes out there sometimes. I think Chloe's out there. Um, but they go like every week or twice a week or so, and they're always um just playing pickleball. And you've got millions upon millions of followers, right? Of just those people that are there. I've wanted to do something that's like a late night meetup, right? Like a 10 to 1 a.m. type of vibe where we all know conversations after like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock are always wild. And just getting like a bunch of creators in that type of room, I think could be really interesting of all the random stuff that we would talk about. So I think this whole meetup concept of moving away from this boring corporate panel pizza type of vibe, I think the better it is. But it is. I just wanted to bring it up to see if you'd seen anything interesting like that, which it seems like you have, because it does seem like there's starting to be this shift in that space.
Yeah, I like hosting like hangouts and like co-working days or filming days. I will never host another panel. I feel like they get kind of boring, especially when they repeat each other. I will never host a panel ever again. I don't like
Hey,
attending
but
panels.
if
Yeah.
someone wants to bring us to a conference, and we'll host the panel for them
Yeah,
if they
we'll
want
host
to
the
bring us to
panel.
a
I
conference.
feel like a good panel, I love it. Oh, I feel like most panels, they're not good, but a good panel I really like is when they disagree with each other and they argue. That's the best panel, actually.
Yeah, the worst is like, ah, yes. yes, Grace, great idea. And you're like, okay, so we're all just agreeing with each other. This is not interesting at all.
So having panels with interest like people with very divisive opinions is what you should do. I would host one and attend one and feel very entertained.
I love it. I love it. All right, cool. Anything else you want to bring up, or is that the pod?
I think that's it for now, but hope to see y'all post more on Facebook. Y'all take some time off for yourself and y'all innovate on some more innovative events because we can't have another corporate event. Well, we could. I feel like it's like good for the business partners. Like I just go in and like it's like work for me. So like I don't mind, but I love events, but like I love like seeing more creative events. So excited to see what y'all make.
I agree. See, Grace spent 2 weeks in Austin, and she just keeps saying y'all. So,
Y'all, howdy,
everyone
y'all,
come
y'all,
come to Austin.
yeehaw, yeehaw.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, appreciate y'all. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
soon. Peace.
Bye.